Of a ditch and onto the highway around 11 last night. He was then hit by an SUV. He's being treated at a St. Cloud hospital. Troopers say he had been drinking at the time. The driver of the SUV was not injured. Breaking news overnight, crisis officially averted. The debt limit bill is on its way to President Biden's desk. The Senate late last night passed the bill 63-36 to lift the government's $31.4 trillion debt ceiling and avoid what would have been a first ever default. The president is scheduled to address the nation tonight. A man is facing assault charges after an incident at Shooting Star Casino in Mahnomen. But some people are saying security took it too far while taking him into custody. Take a look at your screens. We have viewer video submitted where you can see a man later identified as 38-year-old Sean Wade on the ground, appearing to be struggling. It also appears one guard is headbutting him and punches him. The sheriff's office says security stepped in after complaints of Wade harassing someone inside the casino. Then they say he tried to attack security. He was arrested for assault and terrorizing after allegedly saying he was going to kill a nurse. Casino management says they are cooperating with local authorities and tribal leadership on the investigation, but are not giving further comments on the details of this incident. Time now for a look at our storm team forecast. We have a really hot weekend to prepare for. Good morning, Lisa.
Good morning. Yeah, getting toasty out there. Yesterday, we tied a record high of 97. We'll see more of those records be threatened heading into the weekend today, tomorrow, and Sunday. So first alert weather days for that heat, giving you that heads up here. Here's a look outside right now in Fargo. Kind of hazy out there with some high clouds as well. That sun shining though, and temperatures are very warm to start off this morning. We're at 71 degrees in Fargo. Wind is out of the southeast at 11 miles per hour right now. Not too strong. It should be in that range here throughout much of the day. Fergus Falls also at 70 degrees right now. Grand Forks is at 68. So a warm start, a warm base to build off of for our temperatures to rise, and that will happen pretty quickly here today. In addition to that, we're watching for that chance for rain and thunder. Right now, again, just like a lot of our mornings this week, we're experiencing relatively quiet conditions. There is a thunderstorm north of the border, north of Roseau County. There are a few sprinkles on the U.S. side of the border there associated with that too. And then elsewhere, again, more sun, some hazy sunshine, some clouds filtering it out a little bit. Here's a look at our planner for today. Temperatures soaring. We're looking at temperatures getting into the 90s for this afternoon for Fargo, back into the upper 90s likely today, and that chance for thunderstorms returns between that 3 and 5 o'clock hour coming up for this afternoon. So feeling the heat and then dealing with more chances for rain and thunder, the hit and miss kind. So again, some places will get hit, some places will miss out on the rain chance, and that rain chance may include another severe storm or two. Most of them should stay below severe status, but we're keeping an eye out again for the potential for some more robust storms that pop up today. And check out the weekend planner. Temperatures getting well into the 90s. Sunday, we may even see that century mark here in the forecast. And each day, Saturday and Sunday, basically the same thing. Hot temperatures, stormy afternoons potentially for us. And again, so that's something we're going to have to watch out for. But it doesn't mean that it's going to be storming the entire time. You'll still be able to get in some of your weekend plans, but hot the entire time. So make sure you're taking your precautions to stay cool and stay hydrated this weekend on our first alert weather days. Heading into the end of the forecast here, that's when we finally start to see relief at the end of our 11-day planner. We start to get temperatures back into the low 80s. But until then, 80s, mid to upper 80s to, again, upper 90s, maybe even higher as we're working our way through the forecast in this first part of June.
Oh, how times have changed. We're going to get relief with the 80s.
Isn't that funny? It wasn't long ago, really wasn't long ago, that we were dealing with huge piles of snow and those cold temperatures. So a lot has changed.
Yeah, thank you for the updates this morning, Lisa. Police say it was a robbery gone wrong that ended with the death of a Fargo teen who allegedly planned the entire thing. Marcus Rexroad, Fabian Scott, and Marcus McEwen all charged with the murder of 16-year-old James Moore last month. Tommy Trent also facing a drug charge in this case. Court documents say Rexroad told detectives he asked Moore for more money. That's when Moore pointed a gun at him. Rexroad says he took that to mean that Moore was robbing him, so he took out his gun and shot multiple times at Moore while Scott was shooting at Rexroad. All 4 suspects are expected in court this afternoon. Be sure to stick with Valley News Live for any updates. A 26-year-old man now pleading guilty to assaulting Minnesota Congresswoman Angie Craig in the elevator of her Washington, D.C. apartment building back in February. His attorney says his client is accepting responsibility in hopes of moving toward rehab and mental health treatment. Craig's office says there's no indication the attack was politically motivated. Well, it's a big change for people with felony convictions in the state of Minnesota. They're now allowed to vote again after a new law kicked in yesterday. Minnesota now joining 22 other states with similar laws, including the state of North Dakota. Minnesota election officials say the move impacts about 55,000 people who again will now be able to vote. You're taking a look at plans for the new Moorhead High School. It's currently being built, and with the students out of school for the year, construction crews can now turn up the speed to get the project done on time. The Valley Today's Nashay Taylor joining us live this morning with more on where the project is at currently. Good morning, Nashay.
Good morning, Ashlyn. Currently, the project is still in phase 1, but as part of the first phase, crews are constructing the academic wings, the pool, the common and athletic areas. But a portion of phase 1 has been put on hold until the demolition of the high school, which is expected at the top of next year. But construction was also stalled during the first winter of the project.
We had around 60 lost working days just from snow, cold weather, being out in the elements. You have safety shutdowns where if it's too cold, you can't be working outside.
Well, as a way to stay on track, currently there are over 100 workers that are on site every day here. As you can see, there's been folks showing up right behind me, and most of them are working 45-hour work weeks just to make sure that this project wraps up on time. Reporting live in Moorhead, Nashay Taylor, Valley News Live.
I'm sure there are a lot of excited students and staff patiently awaiting the new rebuild. Thank you for an update on the progress this morning live, Nashay. School's out for students in Fargo and Grand Forks, too. Bennett and Eagles Elementary and Discovery Middle School in Fargo held clap-outs yesterday for 5th and 8th graders who are moving on to middle school and high school. That means that staff and family members lined the halls and exits to cheer on the kids as they walked out on their last day of classes. And before you head out the door, we have a traffic alert for people driving in South Fargo. It's beginning next week. Starting on Sunday, the intersection of 25th Street and 32nd Avenue will be closed for an entire week, 7 days. It's part of the reconstruction on 32nd Avenue, so be sure to watch for detours and lane restrictions in that area. The Today Show and CBS Mornings are just about to start, but the Valley Today rolls on with more live up-to-the-minute news and weather coming up right now on the Fargo CW. Thank you all so much for joining us on our Friday morning. Stay safe this weekend and stay hydrated. This heat is no joke, but it sure does look beautiful as we jump outside for this live look. Take care, everybody.